Today we will perform the experiment on determination of DO of given water sample. DO means dissolved oxygen. Amount of oxygen present in the water per unit volume. Generally, unit of DO is a milligram per liter. There is a particular range in water presence of DO. For example, DO ranges 0 to 14.6 milligram per liter. The more dissolved oxygen contained in water, that indicate water is a fresh. If dissolved oxygen contained in water is less, that indicate water is not fresh. Water is contaminated, polluted, or presence of some wastewater or sewage. Okay. So, in this lab, we will carry out the water analysis, whether that water is good for drinking purpose or not. So, to know that, we have to carry out the different water analysis. We have to determine different parameters. So, one of the major parameter, important parameter is the dissolved oxygen. So, today we will see how to carry out the test to determine the dissolved oxygen content. Now, for drinking water, if dissolved oxygen content is more than 7.6 milligram per liter at a temperature 30 degrees Celsius, the temperature plays the important role in this test. Less temperature, there will be more dissolved oxygen content in the water. For example, at 0 degrees Celsius, DO concentration in water, maximum DO concentration in water can be added is 14.6 milligram per liter. At a temperature 30, water should contain, dissolved oxygen contain 7.6 milligram per liter. So today we will take water sample from tap and we will carry out the experiment, we will carry out the test and we will determine the dissolved oxygen content of that water sample. Now to carry out this experiment, we will need some glassware, some apparatus. So there are different methods to carry out the dissolved oxygen content test. So there are two methods, electronic test and titrated test. So in this titrated, we will perform the titrated test. Now in this test, we will need some glassware. So I will introduce the what glassware we will need. First, you can see burette. This is the burette. You will need burette. Then conical flask, measuring cylinder. Important glassware is BOD bottle, and then other reagents are needed. Now reagents, what reagents or chemical we needed? First, you can see sodium thisulfate. Then you can see alkali iodide azide solution. Then manganese sulfate. The name is written on this bottle. Another indicator is also important, starch indicator. And the last reagent, that is H2SO4, sulfuric acid. So all these reagents we need to carry out the DO test. These are the pipette, measuring cylinder, burette. Now important is BOD bottle and conical flask. Now we will start the performance of DO test. Now all the reagents are ready, all the glasswares are ready. Now we will carry out step by step this test. After this test, we will get the amount of reagent, especially sodium thisulfate, and according to that value, we will able to calculate the DO value. So that formula I will tell you later. Now first step, what we need to do, take the sample in BOD bottle. This particular glassware is for BOD bottle. Now in this BOD bottle, you will take the water sample. And while taking water sample, there is a particular procedure. You have to take the precaution while adding, while taking reagent or while taking the water sample. Now this is, you can see, this is the procedure to take the water sample in a BOD bottle. This is the water sample taken from the tap. Now sir is adding water in a BOD bottle. You have to add in a such way that there should not be any more turbulence. Now after filling, see, this is the procedure. You have to avoid the formation of bubble inside the BOD bottle. There should not be any bubble present inside the BOD bottle. This is the particular procedure, not to form the bubble, air bubble inside BOD bottle. Now after taking water sample in BOD bottle, first reagent you have to add manganese sulfate. alkali iodide azide solution. Now how much you will add? How much you will add? 2 ml. Now sir is taking alkali iodide azide solution 2 ml. With the help of this pipette, we are adding 2 ml. After addition of alkali iodide azide solution 2 ml, we have to add another reagent, that is magnesium sulfate. And how much? Again 2 ml. So both the reagent we are adding 2 ml followed by each other. Now after addition of these two reagents, there will be the formation of precipitate inside the solution. Now after addition, we have to mix the sample. There is a particular procedure mixing. See the procedure. You have to mix it like this. You have to invert it. Again normal, invert, normal. So this is a typical procedure of mixing. Now after mixing, you can see inside this water sample there is the formation of precipitate, or you can say flock. Okay. Now we have to allow whatever precipitate or flock from inside this. We have to wait for few seconds, few minutes to settle it down. Now slowly whatever form inside the water sample getting settled. Now we are getting. You have to mix it 2 to 3 times. This is a BOD bottle. Again I am repeating. This is a BOD bottle. Inside BOD bottle we have taken water sample. After taking water sample, we added first reagent alkali iodide azide solution 2 ml. After that we added 2 ml of magnesium sulfate. And after addition, after mixing, there is a particular procedure of mixing. Sir explain the procedure. Now after mixing, we have to wait for some time to settle down the flock or precipitate which is formed inside the BOD bottle. You can see able to see what is forming inside the BOD bottle. Now slowly it is getting settled down. Slowly getting settled down. Clear water at the top. No, it will take time to settle down. So slowly it will get settled down. After settling down, we have to mix it again. So we have to carry out the same procedure, same steps 2 times. But we have to mix it, then settle it down, again mix it, settle it down, and after that, now slowly all flock precipitate will settle down at the bottom. As per standard procedure, you have to again mix it, again you have to allow to settle down, again mix it and again allow to settle down. And the third time, we have to add another reagent. You can see this is the acid, concentrated sulfuric acid H2SO4. We have to add this sulfuric acid 2 ml. Now sir is taking sulfuric acid with the help of pipette. Now with precaution, that is a concentrated, with lot of precaution, with lot of care, you have to take it, you have to add inside the water sample. You can see after addition reaction is taking place. You can observe, you can see all the flock is getting dissolved. Now after this you have to again mix it. Now see the procedure of mixing with care. This is the procedure you need to follow while mixing. Now see, yellow color, dark yellow color. Okay. Now after this, we have to take the 100 ml. Now this is the sample BOD bottle. Okay. Now this is a 300 ml BOD bottle. Now out of this, we have to take the 100 ml. Now sir is taking 100 ml sample with the help of measuring cylinder. So we are taking sample 100 ml with the help of measuring cylinder. Now we are taking into conical flask. Now the sample is we are putting inside conical flask. Now we have to add, we have to do the titration. Now this is a burette. Inside that burette we have taken this solution, sodium thiosulfate. This is a sodium thiosulfate. We have taken this sodium thiosulfate inside this burette. Now sir is going for titration. In the titration we are adding sodium thiosulfate into conical flask slowly, drop by drop. Now how much sodium thiosulfate we have to add into conical flask? Now initially color is a dark yellow color. Now we have to convert it light yellow color. See, light yellow color. The moment light yellow color is observed, you have to stop adding sodium thiosulfate. Now after getting light yellow color, you have to add indicator. You can see this is the starch indicator. Now you have to add 2 ml of starch indicator into conical flask after getting light yellow color. Now after addition of starch indicator into conical flask, you will get blue color, dark blue color. Okay. Now after getting dark blue color inside conical flask, again you have to start the titration, again you have to start the addition of sodium thiosulfate. How much you will add? Till the color disappear. Now sir is adding sodium thiosulfate slowly, drop by drop. Okay. Now we have to observe the disappearance of blue color. Now the moment color disappears, see, all blue color disappear and this sample is a crystal clear. Now this is the end point. This is the end point for our dissolved oxygen test. Now we have to observe how much sodium thiosulfate is taken to get the crystal clear water. You can see the reading 3.5 ml. 3.5 ml amount of sodium thiosulfate is required. Now this is the amount of sodium thiosulfate required to get the crystal clear water sample. Now we have to calculate the dissolved oxygen content of water sample. Now there is a simple formula. The formula is volume of sodium thiosulfate required into 0.2 into 1000. Now divided by volume of water sample taken. We have taken water sample in this conical flask 100 ml. Okay, and volume of sodium thiosulfate required is 3.5. So therefore 3.5 into 0.2 into 1000 and divided by 100 ml. If you calculate it, if you solve it, you will get the dissolved oxygen content. So after calculation, you will get 7 milligram per liter. If you put all these values in that formula, after calculation, after solving, you will get the whatever tap water we have taken, the dissolved oxygen content of that water is 7 milligram per liter. And if dissolved oxygen content is 7 or above at this room temperature, that indicate water is a fresh and of good quality. The more DO, the water quality is good. So therefore, we can use the water for various purposes. So this is a DO test.